Happy Thursday, everybody. How y'all doing tonight? I hope everybody is doing well. Happy Thursday. It's my favorite day of the week, and I'm glad to see you all on tonight. So, as we know, as always, we want to greet you and say welcome, welcome, welcome to Thursday night with me, your girl, Lady Dawn B. And it is about to go down. I am excited because it is one of my favorite segments we are having on tonight. I don't even know what to do with my whole self right now because it is none other than the men's lounge on tonight. So, like, subscribe, and share. Invite a friend. The men are ready. They are geared up. They coming with all the smoke. They have chosen violence early on, and they are ready to share. As you know, for the month of February, we are focusing on our theme of when loved right. We already talked about when loved right, a woman glows. See, life is happening. We just gonna let it go. When loved right, a woman glows. We talked about when loved right, what happens when we love ourselves properly. And tonight we are doing when loved right, a man grows. I hope y'all are ready. I hope you are ready to engage and get in these good comments and hear from and talk to our men. So, as always, we pay homage to our Queen Bee here on the Bravo with Sheila Network, none other than Pastor Sheila Ingram. We say thank you for so graciously yielding this captain's chair to us on tonight, as always, to spend this time with you, and you. So, thank you, everybody, for tuning in. The men are here and they are ready. And I just want to say good evening to all those who are up in the expensive seats in the silent section. Want you to make sure that you come on down and say hello, greet somebody on tonight. So I hope y'all are ready to get into it and get it going because I'm about to bring the men up to the stage. So on tonight, we got a few of the good men of the men's lounge happening on today. Like, subscribe, and share, please, please, and thank you, ma'am. We want to get good convo going on tonight. Hey, Antoinette, my partner, what's popping? Thank you for joining in. Hey, Marisha, it's good to see you. Good to see you. Thank you for joining. And again, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. I'm gonna bring the men on up. I'm going to start with um my brother from another mother. He is in the person of Pastor Linwood Beal. Whew, get ready, y'all. Get ready and get ready all again. We're gonna bring him up to the stage. Next, I'm going to bring up who I call two of four. If you know, I am four of four. He is my brother by blood, legitimate, same mother, father, and all that good stuff. And he is in the person of Minister Donald Brathwaite, no stranger here. They have people. And next, we're going to bring up my cousin, none other than the Pastor Angelo Brooks.
Good evening. Good evening, everyone.
Amen, amen. And last but not least, we are going to bring up, aka, rather let me get it right, Pastor Chris, aka the Psalmist Voice, who, if you know, then you know, and if you don't, you're about to find out. So, good evening, gentlemen. We are in the building. Welcome and give some love, ladies, to the men of the men's lounge. Because what if you can't get in them good comments? And you know what I say? Something happens when men speak. All right. Throw that up in the comment section on tonight. Something happens when men speak. Men have the power of creation in their mouth. When they say something, they set order and tone. And so on tonight, we want to lean in to listen to hear what they have to say about this topic. When loved right, men grow. Ladies, we complain often. I'm sorry, I'm gonna be team men today. Sometimes we complain a little bit too much. We're not as patient as we need to be. But the men are ready to have this conversation. I don't even know where to start, where to begin, but I'm going to get there. So I just want to greet a few more people who are in the comments. Hey, Alicia, thank you for tuning in. We see 2:30. Thank you for joining and commenting and sharing with us on tonight. I'm gonna put my glasses on so y'all know how I do. I'm not gonna act like I can really see without them. So we're gonna act right on tonight. I ain't gonna squint, y'all. I ain't gonna squint. We're gonna make it right. That's right. Something happens when men speak. So please like, subscribe, and share. And we're gonna get into this really good conversation. So before we do, I want to take a minute to allow the men to greet you and to introduce themselves in their own kind of way. So come on, Pastor Linwood, my brother, greet the good people. Let them hear from you.
Pastor Linwood Beal, Pastor of Believers International Detroit, here in the great state of Detroit, Michigan. Just want to let y'all know, if you got a problem with anything I say tonight, my office hours are from 9 to 5.
So he's choosing violence early, y'all, but it's going to be good. We come to love and to learn on tonight, and it is going down. So next up, we have my brother 204, Minister Donald Brathwaite. Come on and holler at the people, big bro.
Holla and welcome. Let's get it on. Let's get going. Let's get it popping.
All right. Let it be what it's going to be. And next we have, and again, they're no strangers. They were here with us last month on the Men's Lounge and they tow it up. Okay, let's go. Next we have the Psalmist Voice, aka Pastor Chris. Come on and holler at the good people, sir.
What's good? Family, we are broadcasting everywhere right now. We're broadcasting from Believers International Detroit. We're broadcasting from the Psalmist Voice Radio Network. We're broadcasting from Sheila. She's just I can't put into words right now how much of a blessing she has been. But I'm excited. I'm ready to get it in. My boys are ready. We're locked and loaded. We're going to get this thing popping. God bless all of you that are watching. And, of course, leave your comments. We love to hear from you. It's an interactive piece. We love to hear from the ladies as well. So let's get it. Let's go.
And there you have it. And last but definitely not least, we have my cousin, for real. He's not a play cousin. He's a cousin for real, by blood, in the person of Pastor Angelo Brooks. Come on and greet the people.
What's up? Good evening, everyone. You know what? I can't compete with these guys that are on here tonight. And like Pastor Linwood said, his office hours are. So if you got any questions or issues, just revert it to him. But no, we're glad to be on tonight. Grateful. Thank you, cousin, for having me back on again. And I think it's a great platform, great opportunity for men to be an outlet for men, but also the ladies chime in and listen in. So look forward to our flow for tonight.
All right. Well, just for those of you who don't know, and thank you, gentlemen, and ladies and gentlemen, everyone tuning in. These are 4 of the 8 men that are part of the Men's Lounge. They are our leading men who we lean on and depend on to carry our conversation, to add their information, to give us information, and to help us straighten out this thing of miscommunication between men and women. Ladies, we want to lean in and listen tonight so that we can gain some understanding. Oftentimes men say things, and the minute a man says something that we don't want to hear, we don't let him finish the sentence. We just kind of go off at the point where we don't want to hear no more. Guilty, I'm just saying. It's true and it happens. But tonight we want to lean in and listen. And we don't want to assume what the men are saying. The men are going to say exactly what they need to say so that we can learn and understand. Now, this topic came to be because of a verses that we had, I think, back in December, the Men's Lounge versus the Ladies' Room. And we talked about when loved right, women glow and men grow. Well, that was fire all by itself. So if you were not on, please go back and watch it. That was it was loaded all by itself. So on tonight, we decided to break it down into the men and the women to give each side their opportunity to talk and to share uninterrupted and with everything that they need to be able to say, to communicate. So that's how we are rolling on tonight. So I see some more people have jumped into the room on tonight. We have our number one bravette She is the best that is out here. And Nay, Kenya, what's good, sis? We see Lady Michelle Roach, the distinguished Toastmaster. Thank you for joining. We have the other half who completes the half of the bill of Team Bill, Lady Deshawn in the comments on tonight. We have Dorothy Rouse in the house. Thank you for joining and thank you for being here. All right. Again, please like, subscribe, and share. Invite a friend. And don't be afraid to get in the comment section and ask the men some questions or comment on what they have to say. So tonight, I'm going to start off the conversation with a question I'm going to put out there to the men. I know they are ready to go with their information, and we're going to turn them loose. But when we talk about this topic of men growing, the women, we are purposed to be in their lives to be a help, to be an assist, a suitable assist, one that can help them in whatever area it is that they are needing assistance with. And we have to operate as such. When we do that in our space, we help them to grow, to get to where they want to be and where they need to be. Do they need us to grow? Not necessarily. But should we be in a position to help them grow? Absolutely. So, men, I want to ask you, what does the statement, when loved right, a man grows, what does that mean to you? And do you believe that it is true or false? Who wants to start? Linwood, I see your mic open, so go on. Okay, I'm sorry.
Oh, that wasn't even right.
You get picked up, well, get picked on. What can I tell you, brother?
Well, here's the thing. In my humble opinion, can I start off, Pastor Chris, by being humble? In my humble opinion,
Lord have mercy,
I believe that when loved right, because we have to face it, all men don't see love the same. Now, now we can keep it as simplistic as saying that we need to identify love languages, or we can go even deeper in saying that first and foremost, before a woman can love a man, she has to know that man. And when I say know that man, I mean know him intimately, not sexually. There's a difference. She has to know him intimately in order to know not only triggers in things that we talk about in surface, because we can always talk about triggers, we can always talk about traumas, we can always talk about the things that point to a negative, but what is it that he really needs in order to operate in the best version of himself? Why does he need it? What makes him tick? Sometimes we're so focused on gift giving in the material, in the tangible things. We're so focused on the optics of a relationship, and we never get into the real intimacy. What are your desires? What are your focal points? What are those things that really make you tick? What are those things that have hurt you? And what am I hearing? What am I hearing when it is that you communicate with me? So I think for a great deal of us, we deal so much with what's on the surface that we never really get to know the person that we are married to or involved with, leaving so many things in relationships to go awry, because you can't love a man right, and a man can't reciprocate that love to allow you to glow if we don't know each other.
That's good. That's good. So if I'm understanding you correctly, because sometimes we need a translator, what you're saying is, in order for a woman to even be in that space to begin to love, to help you grow, You're just asking us to define what loving you right is, which is going to vary from man to man because every person's needs are different, right? There is no black and white. And let me just put this disclaimer out there. We are not experts. We are not here to convince nor convict anyone. We are here to share information from our experiences. We are real everyday people who live everyday lives. And we are not, with the big highlight, because a lot of times we compare our relationships to this heightened false narrative that shows on social media, and that's really not any of our realities. And that's where we start to struggle in our day-to-day relationships because we put expectations on each other from what we see on TV. So we're here tonight just to share the real deal, the everyday, what it really takes to help to maintain a communication and relationship. So I just want to throw that disclaimer out there.
And I just want to preface my response by saying I'm not going to start off toxic. But toxic is coming. I just want you all to know that was the humble, mild answer. But toxic is coming because here is why toxic is coming. Toxic is coming because sometimes toxic is all you hear.
Okay.
So in helping me, can I give you an example? In helping me to grow, it's almost like the same reason, Pastor Angelo, why I don't like surprises. Because you surprise me with what it is you desire to give me, not what it is I desire. Not what it is I need, not what it is I want, is what you want me to have. Right. What you want me to have may not be what I need. What you want me to have, watch this. I need somebody to get this tonight. What you want me to have might be what hinders me. And I said this a couple weeks ago in the chat when Lady Dawn told us what the topic was going to be. If you can't help me, don't hurt me. Just go and get out.
Don't get too deep yet. Hold
no.
I
just want to throw that out there because you can't help me if you don't know me, and if you don't know me, watch this. Even in good intentions, you might be hurting me.
No, and that's true, and that does happen. That's true. That's good. And those are great points that you are making. And we definitely want to dig into them because they are valid points. This is such a meaty conversation. We might not be able to, cover it all in one day at one time. I definitely feel like it's a part two, because if we really want to start to mend relationships and build family, which helps rebuild our communities, we got to take our time to slow walk these conversations. So what I do understand is that, Linwood is saying that toxic is in the crock pot on tonight, so it's a slow cook, but it's coming up. That's what I heard. So we gonna wait for the toxicity to rise to the top. We're gonna let it boil. But you're talking about the intimacy that's required in order to love you and in order to be that help that you need to help you grow. It does not take place in the bedroom. You're talking about the intimacy outside, the intimacy of my heart, the intimacy of my spirit. And you made a good point about you surprising me with what you want, not necessarily what you want me to have, not necessarily what I need. And I would just piggyback for a moment on that point to say, ladies, this is where it's important that your man, the men in your life, your husband. You can surprise him with what he wants when you know what he wants, and it takes communication. There's nothing wrong with me giving you what I would like for you to have, because that's an expression of how I feel. But if I never take the time to find out what you like, what you want, and what you need, everything else can seem what's the word I want to use? It can seem empty, for lack of a better term. Am I correct?
Correct.
Okay. All right. I just wanted to make sure I heard you right. So ladies, lean in. I hope you're taking notes. Pastor Chris, come on and share here. Again, we're starting off with the question of what does the statement of our topic, when loved right, men grow, what does that mean to you? And do you find it to be true or false, and why?
Oh boy, this is a loaded one. But I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna be like Pastor Linwood. I'm gonna leave the best for last. But what I'm gonna say is this. I believe the statement can be true, but it's also there's a true and false here. But again, I'm gonna deal with the positive. Now, if you hustle with me, then I can grow. If you pray with me, then I can grow. If you respect me, big word, then I can grow. So if I have respect, that equals freedom, that equals love. That's the formula. There's no secret to it. There isn't. We make the negative side of this thing is that we have all the false narratives that dilutes a simple equation. Respect brings freedom to love. So if we have all those aspects as men, you don't have to worry about side pieces and chicken McNuggets and all this other stuff. If all those three elements are in place, you won't have to worry about that. So you don't have to worry about the man growing and maturing, because if he's growing and if he's a real man, as he grows, you're growing. So it's a two-part question here. So if I'm growing, if I'm succeeding, if I'm doing what God wants me to do, yes, we bring God into the narrative because God is a big part of this. I'm sorry. I know a lot of people that are watching the program, a lot of them are not a Christian or believers, but the whole key of it is God is the link. And a lot of us get that. So it's that simple. I'm not going to even go ham right now. I'm going to go ham later. But that's the key ingredient to answer your question. So I'm going to drop the mic right there. I'm done.
All right. So to recap, thank you for that. Again, it's going to be toxic, y'all. The men, they slow cooking on tonight. That's what's happening. They crock potting it on tonight. So what you said was that if you pray with me, you said respect plus love equals freedom and growth. Respect will bring the freedom to love when those other key elements are in the mix, and God has to be in the midst of it. Ladies, we have to make sure that we are. Am I correct? Did I get it right? I want to make sure I was.
Yes. Love plus freedom equals love.
Okay. Love plus respect equals freedom, right?
No.
Okay.
Respect plus freedom equals love.
Okay.
That is the equation.
All right. Respect plus freedom equals love. That was the equation. So, all right. See, I stand corrected. Yeah, I want to get it right. We want to get it right. We want to get it. Don't start. Don't start. Want to get it right. We want to get it right because this is important for us to hear and to know. Now, I want to greet some more people in the comments because we don't want to leave nobody out. We see Von Eric in the building. What is up, brother? And we see T. Brian, my bestie for life, for real, the real deal, the top tier up in here. And we cannot forget the actual mother who pushed out 204 and 404, and the aunt of Pastor Angelo. You know her. We all love her. She is in the person of Mama Rosa, aka Pastor Rosa, is in the house. So thank you for being here, Mom. Angelo's looking for you. Your nephew's looking for you. We also see Angela King is in the house on tonight, and Nay is, and Three Kings is here. He is in the building. He should be on this platform, but I ain't gonna mess with him today. I'm gonna leave him. I'm gonna let him rest. But nonetheless, again, we are talking about when loved right, a man grows. And ladies, we have to learn and make sure that we are loving our men right, the men in our lives, so that they can grow. We have to be a help and not a hindrance. And we have to make sure that we are providing for them what they need. And don't take it personal. This is an opportunity for us to lean in and listen, Don't worry. I firmly believe when you take care of your man right, he'll take care of you right. It's reciprocal. You won't even have to say anything to him. You probably won't even have to ask him for nothing. He will make it happen. Corey the Voice Warren is in the building. Or Corey Tyler, the music maker. What up, brother Chris? He is in the building. My girl Elaine Edwards is here saying, hey, y'all. And we have a comment from Three Kings. This is Chris. He says, love your man like you love your plants. When loved properly, it will flourish. When neglected and loved improperly, he will die. The love will die, but you'll be able to see the difference. Well, we don't want anything to die. We don't want our love to die. We don't want our men to die. We want to help you grow. All right. So come on, y'all. Put it up in the chat. Something happens when men speak. T. Brian says, I need a glass of fruit to go with this crock pot. Okay, hey, listen. Get your good beverage. Go grab your snack. Lean in and let's chat on tonight. So I'm going to move to Pastor Angelo. Come on, cuz. Tell us what you feel about this statement. Is it true, false, and why?
Wow. So I'll start off with saying the atmosphere is kind of relaxed. So I'll keep it chill mode. We'll still flow in that realm. Three Kings. Hey, you kind of took my answer. You know, you said, and I thought about even like a plant. I have a plant here in my office, and if I stop watering it, then it's going to stop growing. So I think that statement is so profound. When men are loved, they will grow. I believe that, you know, whoever your significant other is, whoever, even to your children, even to your family, even to your supporters, a lot of us on here pastors, so even to your church, those that support you, that walk with you, in so many ways, they all nourish you. They push you to your next level. They give you the support that you need to do your job, whether it's a husband, whether it's a father, whether it's a pastor, whatever your background is, whether you're a leader, whether you're a CEO. I think we all need nurturing. We all need that care. We need that TLC sometimes that can help us to continue to do what we need to do in order to grow. So I believe that, that statement is most definitely true. And I'll drop the mic right there.
All right. You know, y'all are making me nervous because y'all are slow. Y'all are definitely slow growing. I wish y'all could have seen all, you know, the smoke and the intensity that was going on, you know, for the past 2 weeks that's been happening in the place. But I'm gonna let y'all be in your crock pot for now because I know it's coming on later. So we gonna go with it. They playing nice. Maybe because it's after Valentine's Day, so they're feeling a little mellow, a little lovey, you know. All right, we're gonna let it ride. So last but not least, okay, so to understand again, I want to make sure that we are recapping, ladies. I hope you're taking notes and leaning in. What Pastor Angelo is saying is that, again, like the plant, when you take care of it and nurture it, it grows as it should. And we have to be in the position to make sure that we are feeding in and seeding into our men, making sure that we are caring for them. Nurturing and cultivating them in the ways that we have been assigned to do. Am I understanding correctly, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Okay. See, I want to make sure I'm translating. I'm translating on tonight. Translating. Thank you for that. See, I speak male. I'm female, but I speak male. I do. I speak male. I get it. I was around a lot of men growing up, males. I would say probably around more male than female. So sometimes my mind operates in the male realm more so than the female. And the reason being is for this gentleman that is up next, because I was up underneath him as a kid all the time. He is my big brother, 204. Minister Donald, come on, sir, and share your feelings on this statement. How you feel about what it means to you, and is that true or false? Come on, bro.
He's on a mission.
You down. Oh, there you go. All right.
No, I'm here. So I'm gonna answer I definitely say true because, and this is why, because men do want to be loved in the right way. I like what each gentleman said. I agree with how love is defined differently for men than it is for women. and it is oftentimes I tend to think that women may need to look at. I'm sorry, I'm trying to park my car. That women may need to take a moment to understand what a man's need for love really is. Because sometimes let's face it. Sometimes the way a woman wants to be loved by a man is how she thinks a man is supposed to love her. But I really think that what a woman really needs to understand is that you have to first know what does a man love. You have to learn what his love language. You have to, and then you have to accept it. If he likes to be loved differently than how you want to love him, or you think he should love him in order for you to reciprocate or gain what it is you want, you may need to revisit that and realize that approach may not work. For a man to grow in love, he has to feel love. He has to know he's loved. He has to be able to know that what is being given to him from the woman is love. But it's defined a little differently for us than it is for women. For example, let's use Valentine's Day yesterday as a really great example. Women want flowers and candy and as a sign of affection or a show of love from a man to her, right? But do women understand that on Valentine's Day, men want you to show them also your sign of love, and it might be in the same format. Bring me some, bring me a rose, bring me chocolates, or it may be something different. I think sometimes where the disconnect is when it comes to the word love is how both sexes tend to define love differently than what they realize. And I think a lot of times that subject of love is not talked about enough. It's not explored, enough. I think sometimes, and I appreciate my sister, being transparent, with herself. I think sometimes the way some women set expectations for what love should be for them, and then they don't get it. They say, "Oh, he doesn't love me then. He doesn't love me then. Well, he didn't do the thing I wanted him to do." And I think for a woman to want to understand how a man should be loved is take time to identify what does he love. Take time to ask the question. And don't ask the question of, well, what do you love about me? Not that that's a wrong question to ask, but most times I think sometimes ladies get too caught up in what is it that you love about me? Well, how do you love me? Well, show me how you love me. And then us fellas go through all these extremes trying to hold on to you, and then you gain what you want from the efforts that we put out there to giving you the things that we can give you as best as we can, and then y'all forget to reciprocate it back in the form of what we define as love for us. I think bottom line is, if you show me love in the way that in the way that you understand how I receive love or reciprocate, or how I see love, then you're definitely gonna get love back. But just don't put your own definition of love to it, and then when you don't see what you think love is to you, then you turn and make the guy feel like, oh, well, he don't love me because he didn't do this and he didn't do that and he didn't take me out to dinner, he didn't buy me flowers, he didn't buy me roses, he didn't propose, he didn't take me out to my favorite place. Fine, remember, men want to be loved too. I was thinking during this whole start of the conversation, how does a mother love a child? And I'm not suggesting that any woman should love a man the way you would a child, because that's a mistake too that I find ladies make. You take on these motherly roles instead of these relationship roles. You're no mother to any man unless it's your child.
Don't go too deep yet. Don't go too deep
okay.
yet.
All right. So my sister, So
let me
4-4 said don't.
Wait. Hold on. All right. So if I could just interject for a moment, Donald, because I want to make sure that we're understanding exactly what you're saying, and then I'm gonna let y'all loose. All right. So you're saying that love is defined differently for men as men versus women. We receive love differently. Now, I think just to add on to that comment, so to speak, we express love differently. What we're doing, everyone, I want to say in some senses, the core of love can be the same. I'm just saying how we express it. Yeah, we stir the pot a little bit, because
We are, because I'm about to
women
get
may
there.
like flowers. Yeah, I'm good, y'all. I'm good. I see y'all itching. That's what I want. Um, we express love differently, but the core of what love is, when we're talking about defining love, there is a root core of love that we all have in common. Their problems are what love is respect, right? That not a commonality in love? Is that not that there are some core things? I'm not saying there aren't differences, and we have to learn one another, but there are some core factors in love that are basic to everyone. We do have to learn the differences of how we express it one to the other. True. Donald says to take a moment to understand what a man needs, for love, and learn and accept it. That communicate. But I want to say, men, you also have to communicate your needs. And I know that can be difficult and challenging, and I know that statement is triggering, and that's okay. We here to cause some friction. Iron sharpens iron. Now, you
Yeah.
have to communicate your needs, and we understand the elements that are required for you to communicate. We have to create a safe space. We have to learn to listen and hear you, let you finish your sentences. But you also, again, have to express to us. Otherwise, because men, y'all will shut down real quick.
Why do we do that?
And then
Because if we express ourselves, what do y'all do? Go on. I'm
Okay,
sorry.
let me finish. Men will shut down real quick when you are not getting a response from the woman that you need, or when you feel that you are not heard. It is not shot. There's not shots fired. I'm just stating facts. And y'all do that because you refuse to fight to be heard. You want the respect up front and the courtesy to be heard. Am I right or wrong? Yes or no? You don't want to have to fight to be heard. You want the respect to be heard, right? It also
It,
speaks to the point of, once you communicate your needs, women, you have to know the capacity. Do I have the capacity to give him what he needs, what you're needing? You saying, and I kind of want to ask the question. I'm gonna let y'all comment. I just want to finish something. But you talked about Valentine's Day, just for example, and by the time this is over, don't be scratching your face off, Linwood. I'm gonna let you and Pastor Chris loose because y'all are ready to go. But when it comes to Valentine's Day, you're talking about women, we want flowers and candy and all of this. But men, y'all have to communicate what you want, because if we turn around and we give you socks and tools and a tie like Father's Day, y'all ain't gonna want that either. So
please
how do we
let me in
express
here.
that?
Please let me in here.
Go ahead.
Because thank you, Brother Donald, for bringing Valentine's Day into the conversation.
You're welcome.
So Lady Dawn, you're saying that communication is the key to a man receiving what it is he needs, not only to flourish, but to get an acceptable gift.
No.
Well, hold on. Hold on. Let me prove to you that I heard what you said.
It is a key. I didn't say the. No, but I'm saying we gonna talk it right. I said a key, not the key, because there's a difference. If I say the key, that means that's all it is. It is one of the things, right? In communication, so we can understand what you want. Yes, no.
A janitor has
So you see what you're doing right now?
A janitor has a ring full of keys to open different doors.
I'm responding to what he said.
No, let me help. A janitor has a ring full of keys hanging on either side of him at all times, but because he needs access to more than one door. He cannot flourish being one-dimensional. He can't be the janitor of the school and only have a key to the gym. He can't be effective that way, right? So he has to communicate then that he needs a key to every door. I have to communicate. Watch this. After sometimes spending resources that I do not have to extend to you for one day, such as Valentine, and I go get the flowers, I go get the candy, I make sure the meal is, taken care of, whether it's take you out to dinner or prepare the dinner, and all I get in return is the same dusty sex that I'm supposed to get anyway by being your husband. This thong that I seen you in 3 weeks ago. Let me help some women out. Valentine's Day, Father's Day, birthday, Christmas, anniversary, sex is not a gift.
True.
I'm do that anyway because you owe my last name.
True.
I'm do that anyway because of the vow that you took to the same God that I did.
True.
So where's the even exchange? Or is there one? And if you want me to thrive and grow, you have to put me first in an environment that I can thrive and grow. If I'm a goldfish, put me in a bowl or an aquarium. If I'm a frog, put me under a light. You get what I'm saying?
I do. I get what you're saying.
Watch this. If I'm a dog and you don't want me to tear up the house, put me in a kennel when you leave. Cultivate an atmosphere to get the result that you want. If you want me to grow, and watch this, please don't try to change me into the man that you wanted me to be when you met me and I wasn't it. Right. If you want me to grow into something, have simple conversations with me. But then don't tell me when I ask you to do this or to do that, you trying to change me. Well, what in the ham sandwich you've been doing for the last 10, 20 years? I mean, other than trying to change me into your granddaddy, your daddy, your uncles, all of the examples of the men that you have seen, instead of trying to cultivate an atmosphere where I can become the best version of me. Excuse me, because I can't help you being your granddad. I can't help you being your daddy. I can't help you being the principal or the mentor at your high school that made an impression on you. I can only be me. I can only be me. So if the things that I say offend you, if the things that I do offend you, if the things that I do don't please you, then we got to have some real hard conversations of whether I'm a fit for you. Because guess what? In my growing, I'm going to grow into who God created me to be. And if that means we grow apart,
then so be it. Okay. Can I respond? Can I add to what you're saying now? Okay. So as you said, half of those things that you were talking about is one of the words that has come up between all of you at some point is about us learning. We have to learn how to be how we have to learn you, what you like, what you don't like. That's a part of communication. You just said we have to have a conversation. That's a part of communication. So yes, communication, as I said, is a key, not the sole key. But like you said, on the key ring.
But I have to tell you that sex ain't a gift.
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I did not say that. That was your statement. That wasn't mine. I don't agree that I don't feel as a woman we should ever weaponize. We should not weaponize anything against our men.
I want to take a poll. Can I take a poll?
Could you
hold on.
Out of all the men on the panel tonight,
who's
ever received sex as a gift?
All right. Can I finish my statement first, though? All right. So the men on the platform, Pastor Lemon wants to know who's received sex as a gift. Okay.
You want us to raise our hand again?
No, I don't want you to do anything. That wasn't my question. That's your brother's question.
I understand it's my brother's question.
I'm
what do you
saying
think about that question.
Okay. What I'm saying is that okay, hold on. Let me respond.
Go ahead.
What I'm saying is, right, because I'm not, again, we're not arguing, it's not, we're conversing. What I'm saying is, I agree that sex or any of that level of respect should never be used as a weapon or a treat or a reward to the person that we are committed to. You should not. It should not be something that's used on the bargaining table. because no, that is not fair and it is not right. You know, now if you, as you say, getting the same dusty sex, that's the conversation between you and your mate y'all gonna have to have. If it's dusty, I can't help you with that. But I'm just saying, that's your choice. That's your choice. That's what you got when you said I do. Y'all gonna have to work on that. There's places that you could go, but it's all a matter. I'm just saying what y'all said. I'm saying what was put out there. You talked about environment. Are y'all loving this conversation? This is what we came to do. We came to get down to the bottom line of things, having these conversations. So like, subscribe, and share, invite some people into the room. Now, you talked about the keys, the janitor, right? Okay, so if the janitor got the job as the janitor, he does need all the keys in order to access all of the rooms. However, no janitor starts out on the first day with every key that he needs. Sometimes you got to work your way up because everybody's capacity is not the same. If all you can handle right now is cleaning the gym, or if what you've been assigned to, then yes, you need access to what you've been assigned to. When it comes to relationship, we grow together as we go. You don't give your wife, let me not. I'm gonna talk me. I'm gonna talk me. When I was married, I didn't give my husband at the time. He didn't get the same version of me when we were married as when we were dating. When we were dating, you got pieces of me in the dating space that was applicable to where we were as our relationship grew. When I became your wife, you got more access or all access, because there should not be any limitations or boundaries in marriage. I should be able to, like you said, give you the whole key ring and let you have access to whatever. And the same is with men. Now, you talked about environment. Okay. Environment. If you're a fish, put you in the fish bowl. I'm with you on that. However, a fish is only going to grow as big as the bowl that it's in. So we have to learn how to communicate and figure out where we going, because you might not be able to go from a little fish bowl on your desk to a whole aquarium tank. There's a process in between. I'm just saying. So it's communicating. Hold on 1 second, Donald.
Yeah.
I hear you. I want to read some comments right quick. I don't want to miss anybody. And then Pastor Chris is itching, so I want to make sure to give him his space to say what he needs to say. And Donald, don't lose your thought. Please write them down. Like, subscribe, and share, y'all. Three Kings says communication needs to include transparency and vulnerability. Lady Deshawn, who is the other part of Team Bill, says, ladies, cookies are not a gift. No, they are not. It is. Listen, you depriving your own self. I'm just saying. I'm gonna leave that right there. I'm gonna leave it there. I ain't gonna say nothing else on that. But help yourself to help yourself, sisters. T says, but my sex is a gift. Just saying, ain't nothing dusty over here. It's not a weapon, but it is a blessing. And that is, listen, it is what it is. But women, we do use that, and it's not all. It's not every woman, but we do use those things against our men as if they are bonuses and not something that we should be providing or giving or engaging with them up front. Chastity says, in order for us to learn, you have to be willing to talk. And Risha says, access to what you were assigned to. That's real, right? Yeah, you got to have, you get access to what you are assigned to. There's certain rooms. I know in the hospitals, the cleaning crew, everybody's assigned to different floors. You don't have keys to every room and every floor in the building. You got keys to what you assigned to. So men and women, you got to know what you're assigned to so that you can have full access. That's all I'm saying. So, Pastor Chris, go ahead, sir. Help yourself. I was just responding.
Oh, okay, I'm about to just drop the bomb. See, I was trying to be nice, but see, here we go. We got the smokes in the comment section, so I'm going to put them out real quick. All right, number one. We will listen to you if you don't talk over us or demasculate us. Number one. Number two, we will support you to no end until you talk over us or demasculate us. Number three, we are not afraid to show our emotions. But if you talk over us and you demasculate us, that shuts that down right there. But I want you to communicate. Well, you just did the two deadliest things that could kill communication right there. Number four, He makes sacrifices for your happiness. But if you talk over your mate or your man and you demasculate him, it will shut that down too. We respect your individuality, women, but if you talk over us and demasculate us, it will shut that down too. Number 6, he remembers every little thing. Y'all think we don't remember? Y'all think we don't know what your favorite meal is, or your favorite shoe, or your favorite purse, or whatever it is? You think we forgot? We ain't forget. But what shuts that down? Here's the kicker. Here we go again. You talk over us and you demasculate us. Okay? So here we go. Number 7. He commits to growing with you. We have no problem putting our pride aside and growing with you too, ladies. We have no problem with that. But if you talk over me and demasculate me, guess what? That shuts down too. And you wonder why things go the way they go. Okay, number 8. He cares about your loved ones too. Y'all think we don't care about mama? We don't care about the kids. We don't care about grandma, mama, and them. We don't care about nothing. It's just me and you, boo, and that's it. No. But the fact of the matter is, when you talk over me and you demasculate me, that causes an issue as well. See, I'm giving you fact and fiction. I'm not sitting here making this up. All right. So number 9, the last point, and I'm dropping the mic. He loves you for who you are. Here's the big one. Y'all think because we see a Slim Pickens that got all the curves and all that stuff, you think we gonna go sideways because we see her? We didn't marry you. We didn't commit to you. We didn't do all this stuff, number 1 all the way to 9, if we didn't think you were worth it. But if you talk over me and you demasculate me, we have a problem. And you wonder why the dynamic of black women and black men don't agree. Because of these 2 factors. We don't ask for much. That's the whole problem with this whole conversation. We don't ask for much. We ask for respect, and we ask for not to be demasculated. But the way society and church, I'm going to get in trouble, Linwood, but I got to say it anyway. We present this fake Boaz in some, not all, some churches. We end up being idolized by the single women of the church, and we put this standard over them, and we expect every man that's single that comes into our churches, not all, but some, we expect them to be on our level or even more, and then you wonder why the rate of single women is increasing. It's just ridiculous right now, and divorce rates is going sky high just from the church. Not all, but some. I'm going to drop my mic because I'm going to get in trouble already. I'm done.
Okay. So I want to say thank you, Pastor Chris, for those 9 points. Ladies, I hope you leaned in and wrote them down. I didn't catch them all, but I will. I want to also say, as you said about us talking over and demasculating you, that was a point that I made very early on in the beginning of the conversation. Women, how we shut down, or we don't let you finish your sentence. Again, not all, but some. At the moment that we hear what we don't like, then we start to jump in, talk loud, cut you off because we don't want to hear any more of what you're saying, when very well this might be the road that you're taking to get to your point. Understanding that you are never trying to hurt us, harm us, disrespect us, belittle us, or any of those things. You are in those moments trying to communicate, but however, we do cut you off. And again, I did say that early in the game, which is another point of what? Communication. We have to learn how to communicate with you properly in not cutting you off, allowing you to finish your sentences, whether we like them or not. Ladies, we are very emotional creatures. We have to learn how to get our emotional weight up and be able to take what the man is saying. A lot of times, if we're being truth, and I'll be transparent, the things that I dislike the most are the things that are true. If you say it and it hurts me and I don't want to hear it, it's because it's something has hit that open, you know, a wounded dog will holler. You know, it hit a space that I know while I'm being the independent woman, while I'm being the boss chick, while I'm being the leader, while I'm being the one who has it all together. You who have an inner an insight to me, into my vulnerable spaces, have identified or recognized something, a weakness in me. And women, we don't want to show our weakness truthfully to men. We don't want you to see that. We don't want you to see us as vulnerable sometimes, not all. Why? Because we feel like sometimes some of us feel that it is a turnoff, or then, you know, we go through issues of not feeling enough. So the minute you say something that bothers us, the minute you make a part of your sentence something that we don't want to hear, that's when we try to cut it off because we don't want to hear anymore and we're not ready to deal with that issue. But again, it leads to the point of we have to learn how to communicate as well. So when we love you right, we're here to help each other grow and glow. I want to read a comment, and then I want Angelo to chime in. And Donald, I didn't forget you. I see you 204. I got you. Mama Rosa, Pastor Rosa says, my understanding is when you became part of a team, it is not any longer about self, but the expected goal of the team. Correct, ma'am. Even though you and me make us, it blends together to make us. Let's see. Dorothy Rose said, not all women are talking over men, and some men still don't communicate. That's true. That's true.
Okay.
Hold on. I just want to get through this last comment. Y'all are a mess tonight. It ain't about neither me in a relationship, is it? It is about us. Your needs are my purpose and my needs are yours. It is no longer about the male or female me when it is about us. Pastor Chris, you wanted to comment real quick before we go to Angelo?
Yeah, I wanted to address that because first and foremost, a lot just went by, but there's some stuff in the comments. I'm gonna go real quick. It says, somebody said, do you think he doesn't want women to talk over him or demasculate him? First and foremost, if you are whole and true to who you are as a man and a woman, none of that will happen both parties. I'm just saying. So this is the problem. We don't heal each other. So of course we're not going to hear each other. I'll say that one more time. If we're not healing each other, or we're not healed as one individual, we won't hear each other. Communications will not happen, because the fact of the matter is, how can two broken people be whole if you don't listen? No one's bashing a woman. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is it takes two whole people to become one soul. So if you're broken and both of you are broken, and I said this on the last show, we can put pieces together by ourselves, but you could be the missing link. That's all I'm saying in that comment. And then someone else said something about not all women are talking over men. That's not what I said. What I said was there's some people that do. I left a guideline. I gave pros and cons. You asked me a question, I gave you an answer from both sides of the spectrum. This is what most men are saying. This is the studies, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not just coming up with my own dome piece or my own stuff. This is what people are studying right now. Black men are finally being heard. They are being studied, and this is what they're saying. But yet again, here's the defense. I'm not here to try to be defensive. I'm not here to try to belittle any of you out there. All I'm saying is we need to have a better way, because what we're doing, ladies and gentlemen, is not working. So I'm just being transparent enough as a man. In order for me to be effective in any relationship going forward, I got to work on me. And if I'm broke up from the floor up, how in the world can I make anything valuable for you if I'm not even whole? So if I become bold enough and tell you that's where I'm at, then I get knocked again because, again, oh, you're devaluing how I feel. Ladies and gentlemen, if a man is giving you straight up and he's being communicative to you, you don't want to listen to him. If he's telling you how he feels and you cut him off, if he's being 100% to you and you don't want to hear it because you are in your emotions. I'm not being disrespectful with that comment, but here where I'm coming from. Do not expect a man to come to you 120% if you close off yourself. I'm just saying, I'm done.
Let me just go back for a moment and just correct one thing. Thank you for the share. But the statement, the full statement was not all women are talking over men and some men still don't communicate. So it wasn't a jab at what you were saying. It's referring to the men, to the situations of the women who are not talking over the men and men still don't communicate. When we're the women who are allowing men to speak and they still are not sharing in the communication space. So I just wanted to clarify that just so that we are okay. All right.
They're not communicating because they're not whole themselves, or they were never taught to. This is why, as older men, we need to be more mentors to our younger men to understand, to help them understand that communication is vital. But a lot of us don't learn that concept or that piece until we get middle age and it's too late. Just saying. That was my answer to that.
The other part of communication is not only what's said, but what's heard.
That's true. That is true. And we all have right. We hear sometimes what you said and what I hear is two different things. It can be that, that was an exercise I went through when I was at a marriage retreat once. What you say, and we had to repeat to each other. This is what I said. I said the sky is blue. He said the sky is blue. What I heard was you don't like red. He said that's not what I'm saying. What I said was the sky is blue. So you have a problem with white. We hear sometimes we hear from our space, from where we are. And so a good tool, if I may, just right there, when it comes down to it, I often will, like I'm doing tonight, listening to what you're saying, and I will go back and say, okay, so if I heard you correctly, what you're saying is this, because I want to make sure I'm understanding what you're saying. I want to make sure that I got it right. I want to make sure that we are recapping things. And thank you for explaining that part at Pastor Chris. Awesome sauce. So it is a part of what we hear, what a person says, and what we are hearing. But if we know each other in that intimate space, like you were talking about earlier, Linwood, outside of the bedroom, we will understand each other and how we mean what we're saying, what is really meant by the statement that we're making. One of the worst forms of communication is text messaging, because you could be saying hello, and if I'm in a bad mood, I might be receiving it like you're yelling, or whatever it may be. So we have to know each other in that intimate space in order to be able to communicate effectively. So with that being said, Angelo, come on and jump in the conversation. You've been so patient.
Oh wow! So man, these guys got it heated out here. I would say
told you they chose violence early. It's like 2 weeks worth of violence pent up.
Yeah, so I guess we're gonna ruffle some feathers now. I would say and I'll speak from a love standpoint. A woman's view of a man when it comes down to love, and some of the brothers talked about it early. How for instance, Valentine's night, automatically everybody think that's about, love is equated to sex. I got to get ready because I got to put it on my man tonight. Sex is automatically equated to love when it comes down to men. That's the way I would say women probably think men view love is sex. He wants to have sex tonight for me to show him that I love him. That's automatically equated. But I believe there's some brothers out there that says, you know what, I want more than love. You can cook me a dinner, you can give me the remote control, let me watch the game or whatever. That's love. Some of the brothers talked about it tonight. Respect is equated to love. And the brothers also talked about how you don't talk over them. That's equated to love. So I think we're starting to see, and hopefully the ladies are catching on to a broader aspect of perspective of how men view love. It's not sex is a part of it, but that's not everything, you know. But men are not just all about sex, but they're about, being able to communicate. Now, I'll say, for example, me and my wife went out to dinner last night for Valentine's Day. She wanted to talk, she talks more than I do, so I talk less. And she wanted to talk about our love life. She wanted to talk about, how much I love her up until this point. Y'all don't tell her because I don't know if she's online or not.
I'm
But
telling. I'm telling.
she wanted to be more expressive. She wanted to talk about, we've been married for 7 years. Let's talk about love and love. And I was short on words, so automatically think she teased me. I was like, "What? So you don't love me? You don't have any vocabulary? You don't have anything to talk about as it relates to love? We've been married for 7 years." I felt love last night because we were out to eat. We were enjoying it. We were laughing and talking here and there. So men's level of communication won't be the same level of communication as women, as females are. We get that. Men are short on vocabulary. We may have a good 20 words per day. And women
Right.
versus women may have, a whole chapter, So I think that women should look at men in a broader aspect of love than just sex, respect, and also what the brothers talked about communication wise a little bit earlier. They talked about, and Linwood said it, you're not communicating when you're yelling at each other. That's not communicating, So me and my wife, oftentimes when we get into that heated discussion, to where we're yelling back and forth, that's not communicating. You're not really communicating until you're really hearing each other. So after the heat calms down and all the hype is calmed down, then we actually start talking on a professional or a level to where we can both understand that's considered communication.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's good. We do have to apply. I think that's a place where we have to apply grace on both sides. One thing I've come to understand about this space that we're in and why these conversations are so important. And just so we clear, I ain't worried about none of the heat, none of the smoke that's coming out of any one of these little cubes on this screen here. All right. I just want y'all to know I was bred by the best, so I could hold my own. 2 or 4 is right there. So we hold it down. All right. Okay. So just so we know, we're having good, clean, clear conversation. I hope you're all enjoying it so far. Yeah, it might get a little smoky in the room, but we ain't scared. We are here to help to clear the smoke so that when this is all over, we emerge as better people. All right. Understand that the men are very passionate. One thing I'll come to understand right now is one thing I come to understand right now is that, men are the reason why this is so key. What brought on this particular topic for me, I'm going to tell you, is the fact that I realized that men are angry and women are tired, because of the things that have transpired with us in our lives. And so it creates the clash where we cannot come together and help each other through the situation. We can't help each other through. Pastor Jay says, be nice. We being nice. I'm being nice, I promise. But we gotta represent now. I'm saying is we gonna make it smoky, let's make it do what it do. But because men are angry because you have gone for so long without being heard, we have to give the space for you to express yourselves the way that you need to, and in a way that is clear and free and to the point. I have to learn how to be able to sit here and to take you at the peak of your frustration and not take it personal. Even if some things that you may say might hit me personally, but I still have to be able to take them and allow in your frustration and allow you to express that and not throw it up at you later or not hold it against you later. This is what we have to do, women. And sometimes we don't do that, and that's a part of loving our men right. When it doesn't make us a doormat, Because we'd be the first ones to pop off and be like, I don't know who he's talking to. I'm not sure who you speaking. I'm not sure where that came from, but sir, I ain't her. I know that because I'm quick to be. Well, I was quick to be that way, but I had to learn how to hear you in your frustration. If you really want to communicate, it's like, do you want to be right or do you want to get it right? And that's something that each side has to consider. Men, we hear you, but do you want to be right or do you want to get this right? And ladies, the men hear you, but again, do you want to be right or do you want to get this right? When you choose to want to get it right, you will apply grace on both sides. Sometimes we just got to take it. Sometimes guess what? Sometimes you just got to sit there and take it. Pache says, yes, we have to learn how to be quiet and listen. Right. I've learned how to master, like, okay, he ain't talking to me. Oh, he's just, all right, he's talking, but he's just, okay. It's not at me. But if I'm his safe space, this is where you should be able to come to unload without it being charged against you, without us repeating the conversation in the back of our heads, ladies, and then turning around later and saying to him, giving him breakfast, just like throwing it across the table, like, well, last night you said blah, blah, blah. We have to kill those things. Pastor Chris made a point earlier about how generationally, excuse me, I couldn't get it out. We have to teach our young men how to communicate better. And that's something that the older generation had a hard time doing, because the older generation, what went on in your house was in your house. You didn't talk about things. Things were bottled up. So it's kind of hard to teach somebody something that you yourself are now learning. So we have to learn to communicate all the way around again, and we have to be able to apply grace. I hope you guys are enjoying the conversation. Donald, I know you have some comments, so come on and jump in. I want to get to, and when you're done, I'm going to go to another question if y'all are all right with that. Y'all good? Are y'all learning something? Come on, somebody put in the chat. Something happens when men speak. Men, y'all all right with your toxic selves, with your crock pot foolishness? I ain't scared of y'all. I love y'all. I ain't worried. Come on, bro.
Want some? Come get some. That's all I got to say.
You ain't saying nothing, sir. You ain't saying nothing.
So let me throw this a few thoughts. I'll try to keep them as short as I can because we've been at it for a while. But let's bring God into this conversation for a minute. Let me share a few scriptures. I'm just going to give you the few scriptures. Y'all write them down, read them after the fact. Colossians 3:18 through 19. Wives, submit yourselves to your husbands as husbands as is fitting in the way of the Lord. And husbands, love your wives. The rest y'all can read on your own. Ephesians 5:25. Husbands, love your wives as Christ loved the church. Again, I'm just pulling out portions of the scriptures. Hebrews 13:4. Marriage should be honored by all, and the marriage bed kept pure. I'm gonna pause on that. Read the rest of that. I'm referring to the part of our conversation that deals with sex or dusty sex. I don't know.
I don't know nothing about that. That was your brother.
I'm quoting somebody else's words.
It's the gentleman. It's the gentleman in the square next to you. That's who said that.
That's who said that.
He said that.
I want to add, going back to Hebrews 13:4. We need to remember that sex is holy unto God, but immoral sex. And I'll stop there. Again, I encourage everybody to read these scriptures because there is a lot said in the direction of love, whether it be in a marriage or relationship. And it's good for the people who are on here tonight. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. It is good for all of us to be learning as we are trying to improve relationships. Few things I want to say also is, ladies, hear us out. I know right now Some of y'all might be in your feelings because you don't like the way we're coming off. You know, you might think we're lashing. You might think we're just angry, aggressive men that had different experiences. But regardless of all of that, we're reaching out to you and giving you what you need to hear from us as far as like what is going to really resolve or help recover where the gap is in relationships, whether it be in a marriage, whether you're dating, whether you're engaged, whether you're waiting for the right person. You know, we're trying to basically give you what you want as the answer. We're giving you what you want as the answer, to be honest with you. Because one thing I need to encourage you women to honestly start considering is be accountable. Because when you say we're not communicating, and that kind of gets on my nerves, I'll be honest with you. And it gets on my nerves because it's like, okay, you're saying we're not communicating, but when we are communicating, are you listening? And are you listening with your heart, or are you listening with your ears, or are you listening with your attitude or your ego? What are you listening with? Because, you know, whether I talk about pre-marriage or post-marriage, I can tell you that I find that particular statement to be more of a defense mechanism than honestly the truth. Now, I touched on somebody's toes, but I don't apologize for that. Because if you're saying we don't communicate, and we actually are communicating in our style or in our way, why are you not willing to be accountable to what we're saying? When y'all are telling us it's the truth. Oh, blah, 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 blah. Well, why are you telling me that? Because it's the truth. And I'm saying, no, it's not. Yes, it is. Okay. If y'all are so adamant about how truthful you are in what you're saying, why is there a problem with we're telling you our truths as well? You know, it's kind of like that. Is this dress, do I look big in this dress? Well, if you want the truth, yeah. But then we have to rethink that answer, because the moment we say, yeah. Oh, so you're saying I'm fat? Well, my goodness, you just asked me if you look big in the dress or how the dress fits. So how am I supposed to give you, when I give you the answer, I understand it might not be the one you want, but if I say it, but when I'm saying it in love, because you asked me in love to tell you the truth. And I always quote this particular quote from a movie I saw, where the guy said to the other person, you can't handle the truth. My question is, can you handle the truth when a man is telling you the truth? Can you take out all the other things that are connected with your feelings and listen to what he is saying? Because I guarantee you, whether he says it loud or whether he says it soft, he's saying it in love. And you have to be in a loving relationship too to catch on what I'm saying. So I want to put in your ladies' hearts and minds, you know, consider that, yes, our actions do need some improvement. Yes, we do need some improvement in the communication area. But women, the reason why we retreat from y'all so much is because when we're actually giving you the truth or valuing what you're saying, or, you know, taking it in, are y'all really listening with your ears and your heart, or are you listening with your feelings? Are you getting so caught up in, oh, he talking to like that? He ain't never got something. I get so tired of seeing, especially Black women, do that when they're engaging a conversation with their man, who they say is their man. When I heard my pastor cousin say about his night out with his wife and how she was dialoguing with him, and he was giving her dialogue back, I tend to wonder, did she take time to really notice that you weren't giving her a scripted answer, you were giving her an answer that was in your heart? Does she also realize, and I'm not challenging your wife, please forgive me if it sounds like that, but I'm saying this to any woman that kind of thinks in the direction of, well, if I ask you a question, so do you love me? Yeah, honey, I love you. Why you love me? Well, because of all these reasons that I'm giving to you right here. Well, are you sure you love me? I'm like, why are you asking me that same question? What did I need to say? What's the key word you're looking for, so I can kind of, focus on what you're actually looking for in the answer, I do this with my wife sometimes, to be honest with you. Sometimes she you know, she'll hint around wanting that kind of conversation, and then I'll give the conversation. But sometimes I run into the same issue. But we have a way where she and I developed on how to get around that, and you know, it's well to not take up too much time. Ladies, I want to encourage y'all from what you heard tonight. Be accountable on your side of the love equation. That if we're communicating it from our hearts, and that we're communicating from our hearts what we feel, what we're saying, what we're telling you. Don't be so defensive. Don't use the men don't communicate thing too often as a defense, because sometimes when it's felt that we're not, I think I heard my sister 4-4 say, we're not clarifying. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Earlier, I kind of so said, well, women, I'm sorry, I can't, it'll come back to me. I'm sorry. Here's what I want to make as a point to it, which is, if you're asking us a question and we're communicating the answer, please understand, you don't need to grill us like you're the FBI. You don't need to keep prodding, because what you now remember what my sister said, and this is the answer to that. Because the more you keep doing that, is all the more reason why we withdraw, because we get tired of, because we're trying to avoid a argument or a misunderstanding. You need to basically ask us what you want. And if you are asking us, because I know somebody's saying I do, great. But if this is the answer I'm giving you to the question, you think I misunderstand it, rephrase the statement, rephrase the question, reapproach it. Last few thoughts, if I may. Love isn't defined by sex only. Okay? That's why I gave some of them scriptures I gave. And I hope it blesses someone to really read it open-mindedly, to understand that, you know, yes, sex is a part of love, you know, because we make love. But love is also defined by giving and understanding. Going back to what Pastor Linwood said on that subject, when I heard my sister say, well, you guys don't tell us what you want. Don't you take time to observe us the way we observe you? Don't you take time to know what our favorite color is, what our favorite fashions are? Bottom line is, I'm a guy that likes roses. I tell my wife all the time, like, yo, if you give me one rose, I would really, I wouldn't have a problem with it. You know, I'm cool with a flower, you know. You know, in other words, it's me trying to encourage y'all to honestly stop saying that we don't communicate, or let me not discourage you from saying it. Let me encourage you that when you are saying that, please make certain that it's factual, not scripted. B, if we're answering the question and you want to delve a little further, ask, then delve more. Create the dialogue that you want to have with us so that we can give you the responses that come from love in our heart. Because if we give you scriptive answers, or if we withdraw in the conversation like we do, I'll own it, yes. Like we do, it is because it gets tiresome to try to keep, for the conversation to be circular over and over again. Come on, I'm trying my best here. Give me a vowel, give me a consonant, something. You know, I want you ladies to understand that love is not just through sex, it's through how it's basically defined by giving, understanding, fairness. Show us, share. I like how my sister said something that I want to just respond to by saying, well, men want to feel. Men want to feel love. Women want to see love in actions. So understand, we feel love. Show it to us in some small or big way that you can. I mean, I'll never see the car that I want in my driveway that my wife knows I would.
You don't know. You might.
Well, you know, I know where our finances are right now. I ain't trying to pay
that. What we ain't gonna talk. That's a whole nother show. We can talk about that.
But I give it to everybody exactly. With another show. Last thought. Last scripture. Last thought. Matthew 19 verses 4-6. I would encourage that all these scriptures I gave, please read the whole entire chapter, not just the portions that I'm giving you, but a little part of it is, haven't you read, he replied that at the beginning, the Creator made them male and female and said, for this reason, a man will leave his father, his mother, unite with his wife, and the two will become one flesh. Well, that to me kind of sums up what love really is between a man and a woman. It's being in unity, connecting. It happens, yes, through communication. It happens through actions. But we said it earlier, the men's love language is one way. Women's love language is another way. Men want to feel love. Women want to see love.
Well, I think both parties want to. No, that was good. That was really good. You said so many good things, and I think to a degree, on one hand, if we stop putting this line of divide, just like with gender roles, because it's not absolute, it's not all. Women want to feel and see love just like men want to feel and see love. The expressions of it, the question is how. How do we, again, you guys have made the point that there are differences in the way that we receive and that we give. So we each we can't continue to play the blame game. It can't be that the fault is all yours because you don't listen, you don't hear me, you don't, you're not respecting me. At the same turn, it can't be, well, you know what? You don't love me. You're not showing me, you don't care about me. You're not listening to me. The male and female sides. When we start with that blame game, we never come to a resolve. And we have to find the happy medium, the place where we meet together, where this is where grace has to come in and be the key, I feel, or one of the keys, because I'm going to get my brother started again with the keys on the janitor ring.
Please don't.
One of the keys that helps to bring us together and bridges that gap, because that's what we want. We're both fighting for the same thing on different sides, but we have to stop fighting each other. I also want to say, thank you for those scripture verses. Now, again, we are not a Christian channel, although we are all Christian. So there may be some people of different beliefs and religious backgrounds. So we are absolutely inclusive. We are just using all these men here are preachers. They're all ministers and pastors in some capacity. And so we are using the tools that we have, that we rely on, that get us through. So as we are sharing, we want you to grab the principle, not so much the presentation all the time. And again, just saying that so that we don't want anyone to feel left out. And again, we're speaking the language that we speak, that we go off of. And the Bible, these verses are things that help to encourage and grow us. I want to read a few comments and then want to do one more thing. So Pat Shea says, this goes for both sides. Don't ask the questions if you're not ready for an honest answer. That is true. Got to be very careful. If you're not ready to hear the truth, then hold off on asking your question. If you're nervous about asking the question, then that means you're really not ready to hear what the other person has to say. You have to anchor yourself to be able to hear what the other person is saying and about to say. You can't control how a person feels. You can only control how you respond. And yes, welcome. Welcome, Pat Shea. Welcome, Disciple. Welcome, Brooklyn. And welcome, Teddy Bear Music. It's so good that y'all chimed in with us on tonight. Thank you. Like, subscribe, and share. Invite a friend. I hope you're enjoying the conversation so far. This has been great. When loved right, men grow. And we are talking with these 4 amazing men of the Men's Lounge who have been sharing from their wealth of experience, knowledge, and information on tonight. Again, we are not professionals. We are real everyday people that are trying to help bridge the gap in relationships across the board. Teddy Bear Music says no keywords. I think he was saying this in regards to what Donald was saying about him and his wife when she is looking for additional conversation or deeper a deeper answer in her question. They have a method of communicating. He says no keywords. They don't even know what they want to hear sometimes. Oh, that's a little lethal there. I'm gonna have to take that one with a grain of salt just a little bit. I think we do know what we want to hear, and what we want to hear is the truth. The question is, as Pashay just said before, can we handle the truth that we want to hear? That's the point. And I don't think it's not that we can't handle it. Maybe we can't handle it right now. I'm just saying. I'm just putting it out there. Maybe we can't handle that truth right now. A person has to be in a position to hear the truth.
Let's agree to disagree.
That's okay. Listen, we're not trying to convict nor convince anyone. I'm just expressing my opinion and my feeling, and that's okay. We can agree to disagree. I'm not mad. I respect what you're saying. I'm saying on the other side of it also, because nothing is one-sided. On the other side of that, it's not so much that everybody sometimes we know what we want to hear, we're not ready to hear it. So is it a matter of I don't want to hear it, or I'm not ready to hear it? That's all. Just adding perspective, adding some additions to the conversation. T says, why are you busting up their beautiful evening? Good time had by all is what I heard. I think he was referring to, as you were sharing about Angelo's night out, as you were talking and commented. You said, Pache says, we have to learn our communication language. Yes, we do. We have to learn our communication language. Absolutely. Risha says, let's see. Men and women communicate differently. It requires patience and understanding for one another. Absolutely. And Teddy Bear Music says the best communication language is truth, and sometimes neither party wants to hear it. That's when you find out if it's real. And that's a good point. Again, partially about what I'm saying. It's not so much that we don't know what we want to hear. Are we ready to hear it? That's all that I'm saying. Hold on. Let's see. We got a few more comments going on over here. Want to make sure we get to them. I hope you guys are good. Pache says that's an example of individuals who do not know how to communicate. It's not that deep. Say what you mean and mean what you say. True enough. Brooklyn says, yes, I want to see and feel the love. I think we all do. Pache says we have to be accountable for our actions. Pastor Chris says, how? I got you. I'm not sure where, but he can explain that one. Okay. All right. I get you. All right. Teddy Bear says, I disagree. That was probably something I said. Pache said, I think it's according to the individual. We can't generalize that statement. Pache says, trust and believe. If I ask, I want to know. And T. Brian says, one person's truth is not the truth. Right. So we have to come in the middle and find a way to communicate effectively together. It's not something that's going to get solved overnight and in one session and in one talk, but we have to be committed to the process of growing in communication one with the other. And we want to make sure that we as women are helping you to grow in the capacity that we're assigned to your life. So, see, Linwood has a comment. Come on, brother.
So, Lady Dawn, I just had this conversation through text with a young man as we were taping. He reached out to me, not as pastor, but as a really good friend. We've known each other for years. And I have to ask the question then. It is twofold. There's a part A and B. Because if we're together in purpose, relationship, or marriage, you would think that if she cultivates an environment, puts him in the best position possible as far as what she can do to assist him, that she would want to do everything she possibly can to see him accelerate, because when he goes higher, she goes higher. You would think that in doing so, and as much as we talk about communication in marriage and relationships, that it goes back to the very first thing that I said, and that men, especially men of our age, the men on this panel, and older, maybe even a little younger. We've gotten to a point where we need more intimacy than sex. We need you to know. We need you to know that if you want effective communication, this is not the conversation to have at this time. We need you to know what triggers and traumas we've experienced in certain conversations. And then when you bring it up and you know it was a hot topic, and I go from 0 to 100 real quick,
Mm-hmm.
you can't get pissed off in the end and say, I can't talk to you about nothing.
You're right.
No, you just can't talk to me about that.
You're right.
Because, again, if it's a situation or a circumstance that I have struggled with, and you know it's a struggle for me, you know it's a hot button topic for me, you know it's a trigger, you know I've experienced some trauma, please explain to me why you want to keep having that conversation. Please explain to me that if you know coming to me with that topic the last time put us in a place where we didn't speak for a week, why you gonna bring that back to me 3 weeks later? What you just wanna be on again, off again with me? You just wanna have a week off from the marriage? You just want, not to have any communication. You want there to be tension in the house. You get what? So it's not that. No, let me just finish that.
No, I was agreeing with you. I was just saying, yeah.
Yeah. So if you want effective communication, accept the fact that there are just some things we cannot talk about. Accept the fact that there are just some things that you and I are not going to agree on. And no matter how you fix it, no matter how you paint it, we're not going to see it the same way.
Mm-hmm.
So she's in here. I can be transparent. Ministry, believe it or not, is a very hot button topic with me and my wife. It is a very hot, but we see ministry totally different. She can do ministry, go home, and not think about y'all no more until, if it's Sunday, I think about you Tuesday, it's Bible study. After Tuesday, Thursday for prayer room. After Thursday, Saturday for prayer room. And then again, Sunday at 3:00, which is our service. For me, it's more of, it's a much bigger part of my life.
Right.
So when ministry topics come up, and you're not ready for it, why bring it? And that's something that, we're not going to have a disagreement about when we log off, because we know that that's an issue. So my point, it would be the same way if it was food, if it was the children, if it was what side of town we're going to live on. Why continue to have a conversation that is going to lead to a breakdown? If you want, because the topic of the room tonight, the space tonight is her helping me grow, right?
Mm-hmm. And
me helping her glow. I think it's reciprocal, though. It's not one way. It's not, and we have fun with a lot of topics, and we get toxic and all that stuff. But the truth is, my wife and I always talk about the glow I gave her when we first came together, mm-hmm. and the trajectory that I was on, during that time. Marriage and life has happened, and both have dimmed a little bit, if you can tell the truth. And I think that can be said for most marriages and most relationships. And it's not that I don't want her to glow. Mm-hmm. I don't believe it's not that she don't want me to grow, but I think in the process of us wanting each other, for her wanting me to grow in the things that are important to me and get into a place in life and ministry and career and all things that I desire, I think sometimes the focus, her focus is not on my grow, is on her glow, and vice versa. My focus is on my grow and not her glow. And I think somebody said it. I think it was your mom who said in the comments, when our focus comes off the other person and it becomes a selfish focus, neither one of us are going to operate in our best self. I'm not going to be able to help her glow. She's not going to be able to help me grow, because in that moment, what's important is me, and it's selfish.
I agree with what you said, and I hope, ladies, that you leaned in and that you're hearing what it is that that Linwood is saying. I think from the female perspective, and again, and please understand, everyone, you know, we're here to walk through the touchy points that no one else wants to touch. You know, so if it strikes a nerve and it's sensitive, just say ouch. You know, and again, because we gonna build up our emotional weight, you know, so that we know how to operate with one another. We got to be able to talk and to navigate our way through these type conversations and these spots, because these are the things that are holding us hostage from moving forward and giving each other that reciprocation that Linwood was talking about. Now, why push the subject if we know that it's sensitive and we know that it is it's a sore spot with you? I think, and this is just Dawn speaking, what happens sometimes is that because of how we are as women, and we are nurturers and we want to help, we don't want to see you hurting. Some women, not all, some, I'm sharing, we don't want to see you hurt. We are nurturers, and our instinct is to heal where it hurts, to fix where it's broken. So it's not always an intention. Again, this is not all. I'm just giving you some feedback. We're not coming from a place of trying to hurt you by pushing an issue. We have to learn how to maybe present it and hear you, and then pull back if you say this is not the time, instead of continuing to push the issue. Part of that comes from us wanting to, some of us we just want to fix it. We just want to make it happen. We just keep pushing because we're thinking that, okay, if I keep asking him, at some point he's going to answer. At some point he's going to open up. At some point he's going to let me in. Sometimes if I keep asking him, it'll let him know, like, no, babe, I'm here for you. No, honey, I want to hear you. You know, not taking it in the vein of how you understand it to be. I need you to respect my space right now. I need you to respect my feelings right now. And it's just not something that I'm ready to talk about. We have to be accepting of sensitivity to timing and to your healing. But at the same time, if we don't know what you're going through, we don't know how to help. And sometimes not helping is helping. Sometimes, ladies, we got to learn how to just put your hands up, just say, okay, babe, okay. When you're ready to talk about it, you know, I'm here. If I can help, you know, let me know. Is that a better way to address those moments, Linwood? Would that be a better solution for us if we just, you know, learning to just ask you once, and then if you're still not ready, okay, we let it go. You know,
Can I interject for 10 seconds in just a quick share, piggybacking off what you said and leading into what you're asking Pastor Linwood? For me, I've often used the approach of when my wife notices something wrong, and I say to her, yes, there is something wrong. Heavy on my thoughts. I'm not ready to share it, but I will let you know. So I'm not necessarily answering on behalf of Pastor Linwood, but I am saying, yes, you got it.
Right, that's good. Or to, I mean, I addressed it to him because he put the
No, I
statement.
know.
up there,
I
you
understand.
know. No, I'm just saying, all of you are welcome
I
to.
like the fact that you recognize that just now, and that our listeners are recognizing, what you said as well. And I'm kind of endorsing Pastor Linwood and you by saying, yeah, sometimes a phrase like I'm sharing that my wife and I use when it's something that is in our thoughts and the other can feel it, and that's a part of love too, right? When you can feel somebody else's moment or mood, and you just want to help, but you don't want to be a too aggressive or too assertive to what we might think that you're doing. You want to be able to say, "Hey, I'm here when you're ready to talk about it." So I like what you said. You're right.
Lady Dawn, you addressed a question. I was in the middle of a ministry moment. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Because I'm double multitasking.
I know you're doing double duty. You're doing what you do, boss.
Yeah. So I caught the tail end.
Okay. So what my response basically in a nutshell was, would it be more helpful for us as women? We have to learn how to be sensitive to the timing and the healing, as you said, about if we are pushing an issue that we know is sensitive with you, and you're not ready to talk about it. But we as women have our heart posture, some not all, is to fix. We don't want to see you hurting. We want to be able to come in and save the day, kind of just like just as the men do. So we may push an issue, not intentionally being insensitive, but thinking that we're helping because we're like, if I ask him a few times, maybe he needs to be, coaxed or convinced or, into answering. So in those situations, if we at that point we ask you one time, and knowing that it's a sensitive situation and you don't want to answer it, if at that point we have to learn how to, again, I said, just put your hands up and say, okay, babe, when you're ready to talk about it, I'll be here, and leave it alone instead of pushing the issue.
I'm going to make it quick because I see my brother Pastor Chris about to lose it. But to answer your question,
we're not here to argue. We're here to
no. Yeah, I want to answer your question though, because
I'm just trying to say what would help.
When you bring
a good response for us to give you.
When you bring it that way, what you're suggesting would be proper.
Okay.
Here's the caveat. The caveat is I think you're moving the goalpost a little bit from what I originally said, because it's not the persistence that is the bother. The fact that you can't accept the fact that I'm not where you are or you're not where I am in any particular subject matter is the issue for me, because you're my wife, because I'm your husband, does not mean that we're going to be in total agreement 100% of the time. It does not mean that we're going to see the same cup we're going to see the same cup and see it the same way. She may see it as a blue cup and I might see it as a black cup, and it has both colors in it. Can we agree that we see the cup different? Can we agree that we may not see finances the same? We might not see child rearing the same. We may not see ministry, whatever the case is, we may not see it the same, and just respect the fact that we don't see it the same. Everything don't have to be talked about at all. I think there are times, Pastor Chris, where we over communicate things. We over communicate, and I can't grow because we're continuing to deal with the same issue over and over and over and over again. At what point are we going to say, okay, we got to leave this one alone and continue to grow, maybe past that issue?
Okay, can I ask? Okay, thank you for adding a little more contextual information to what you were saying, because I didn't, if I misheard, because again, this isn't us real
No,
time
you were
communicating.
good. No,
You
you were
know, no,
good.
I'm just saying, right. My thing is, I want us to be able to give a tool, you know, for us to be able to help in those situations. So that's what I was asking in that situation. When you put it in the context of what you just said, where it's not the persistence, it's more of the acceptance of our disagreeing. Now, right? Am I hearing you right now? Okay. Now, with that being said, and as you said, sometimes this is just an issue that we just have to agree to disagree and move on. I think that that is fine, in my opinion, and that is you know, some things you do have to agree to disagree and leave them alone. But if it's something that affects the relationship, the marriage, the home, and the family, you eventually you agreeing to disagree and leaving it alone is not resolving the problem; it's delaying the issue. So we're never going to see, you're never going to see it as blue. Now you might be able to admit like it's perspective and perspective and acceptance. I have to accept the fact that from your perspective you see the black. You have to accept the fact that from my perspective I see the blue. I see Angelo. um and I think when we get to the point where we stop trying to fight for who's right or wrong, because that's really when it comes down to that challenge space right there. It's about, I want you to see it my way and I'm right. You're right in your eyes. Your point is valid. There's blue in it, but it's not just blue. So this is where the grace and the communication has to come in. And it doesn't have to be that one person's way dominates over another person's way. Why can't you come to the bargaining table and reason together to find out what pieces of how you operate and what pieces of how I operate we can put together and create our own? Is that a fair solution or tool that we can, okay, so that we can help to better communicate? Because at the end of the day, it's, do you want to be right or do you want to get it right? As I said
Absolutely.
earlier.
I absolutely agree with that.
Okay, I want Angelo to jump in. He has something to say, and then Pastor Chris, come right behind him. I know you're ready to go, sir. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Wait 1 second, Angelo. Before I go, I want to read these comments really quick because I don't want anyone to feel left out. We all, Disciple says, we all have to understand that everyone has had some trauma in our lives, and we have to respect the trauma. Absolutely, we do. T, my bestie. Sorry, y'all, I'm absolutely biased. And I'm not ashamed. She says, however, some men don't identify triggers and traumas, leaving us to figure it out after they crawl in a hole. Communication is key. So when you say there are some things we can't talk about, and the rest of her comment is missing. Let's see. We've got Risha who says that part. Talking about Tawana's comment. Alicia says we all need healing, so it needs to be said. And Brooklyn says, oh my God, sis, talk to me. Okay, so these are the comments. I hope you guys are enjoying this conversation. Thank you for hanging in there with us. We are definitely going to have it some more. And again, because again, we are not going to get through all of this in one night, but this is so good today that we are able to start cracking the foundation so that we can build a new one. So thank you, everybody. Come on, cuz share what you needed to share.
Oh, real quick, I was going to say, just based on what we were just discussing and Pastor Linwood was discussing, I guess we should put the question out there, or either put the statement out there. That just means that love takes time. Love is patience, I would say. So you have to be patient. I got a similar situation, like my wife and I, me being a pastor. There's some times when I have an overload for dealing with church stuff. When we come home, she don't want to talk about church stuff. So, I'm learning to be patient and balance out in that area to where I don't overload her with some things. There are times where I feel like, and I could be wrong, there's some things she can't handle. She may say, oh yeah, I can handle it. You need to start telling me stuff. You need to tell me. But I know, Pastor Linwood, I know that, you know what? No, I'm not going to put, why? Because I study her, because I know her. Why? Because, we're in a relationship. I know what she can handle, when she can handle it, how she can handle it. So you don't want to put too much on her too soon, because that would be, her anxiety will kick in. She starts to feel overwhelmed and different things like that. So I feel like in this aspect, love ought to be patient. We have to learn how to be patient. Like we're on two different levels of knowing and having knowledge and understanding of things. So just allow patience to set in as well as we're learning and growing.
No, I love that. And that's really good because you bring up the point of capacity. You know, again, I'm big on that. It's one thing that I've learned. Until my capacity increases for some things, you know, I have to be honest, and I can handle a lot. I can juggle a lot. I've had no choice. You know, I can multitask a lot, but there are points in time where I have to tell everybody, like, hold up, like just give me a minute, because my mind cannot take all that's being put out there. So we have to be sensitive to each other. We have to be mindful, like you said, that patience that comes in, and we have to know capacity. But again, this also goes back to the differences that you men expressed earlier in the show, that, you know, men and women, how we are different. There's differences in how we love, how we receive love, how we express love. And with that, our capacities are different. I don't think, you know, women, we're not built to take on everything that you men are built to take on. We have to learn how to, we're not. We have to learn how to rest back in our feminine energy. Listen, this is why I said, you know, listen, men are angry. This is the point, you know, just leading into that. This is why I said men are angry and women are tired. I know for me, I'm tired. I don't want to keep being the strong one. I don't want to. I want to come home, babe. I don't care where we go. I don't care what you want to eat. I don't care. Listen, tell me what you want to eat. I'll make it. You know, tell me where you want to go. I'll drive. You know, tell me what you need today, what you want tomorrow. I'll go get it. But I don't want to keep having to make decisions and leading, and, you know, and our capacities are different. You know, men, you might be able, you being the leaders or the heads, even in the ministry space as the pastors, you know, the vision comes to you first. You see it in a fuller scope than we as women may ever see. But I have to know what spaces I'm equipped and built to fill into those, how I fit into that space. And sometimes I understand the protection piece. You know, men, you bear a lot because you are protecting your woman, because you know what she can handle more. Sometimes y'all know sometimes what we can handle more than we know what we can handle. We think we can handle a whole lot.
Yeah. But you know, because just to interject right quick, you know why you're tired, and you know why ladies are tired? Because you happen to carry additional loads that you're not designed to carry.
Right.
You're carrying stuff that you're not designed to carry. And you know why men are mad? Because you're not free to tend to their needs, because you're busy carrying the loads that you're not designed to carry.
Right. And you're right. You're absolutely right. And unfortunately, sometimes, you know, I mean, in my case, I had no choice, because what, you know, right. So it's like, and it's no one's, okay, I'm gonna say this loosely. It's no one's fault. It's just what I had to do, because guess what? I can't die here because you decided to bail out, or you decided not to do your part, or you decided, or maybe you weren't equipped. Maybe you didn't have it. Maybe you bit off more than you can chew. But at the end of the day, guess what? I still got to get up. I still got to live. I still got to move. I still got to breathe. So you know what? I've learned how to bear weight right on my shoulders that I should not have ever had to, nor that I was intended to. But the reverse of that is, now when you get into that space with a man who is that kind of leader, it's unlearning what you've already learned in your survival mode. You have to unlearn and learn how to let him lead. You have to unlearn that this weight that I'm saying that I've been carrying for so long, and it's heavy and I'm tired of carrying it, but it's all I know how to carry, you know, and I have to learn how to now let you have it, which is a trust thing. You know, and again, this thing opens up into so many other spaces, you know, where my fear is, before I let you take this weight that I've been carrying, I got to know that you can handle it, bro, because guess what? When I give it to you, I don't want it back. Because when I give it to you and I relax my shoulders, it changes the ability of the strength that I have to bear it. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes women, we rather hold on to that weight because again, it's all we know, for fear of having to pick it up again somewhere down the line, because we work so hard to be able to carry this weight that now we don't want to have to set ourselves back to a space where we're weak and incapable again to have to put all that it's a hard road. So, you know, we have to know our space, and we have to know how to trust the men in our lives. But again, it's the learning. It's the learning and knowing who you are with, what capacity you have, where you fit into that space. The most beautiful thing I think that a man can say to you in these cases is I got you, and mean it and do it. You know, you have to. And so ladies, we have to learn and know how to let go and let men lead us and rest in that space, you know, that we're talking about capacity and allowing you to lead as you need to lead. What she said, T says, looks like Pastor Chris has strong shoulders, but I'm gonna leave that alone. Yes, looks like all the men have strong shoulders. All of you have very strong shoulders, and strong shoulders you do have. I'm just saying. But yes, so thank you for that share, cuz Risha says yes at Lady Dawn Beat. So Pastor Chris, you want to add in again? Thank you, everybody. We are 2 hours in. This has been so good. It's really, really good. We're gonna have to bring the men's lounge in a whole lot sooner. I don't think we can wait a whole another month before y'all come back. So we're gonna have to talk about that offline, because this is a really good conversation and in a really good space. And we don't want to lose this momentum. So I'm going to I want to leave space for Pastor Chris to, I know he wants to say, he wants to get something to share. And then I want to go around. I think I want to ask the final question and let you gentlemen share your final thoughts in regards to the question, and that you share your handles. So go ahead, Pastor Chris.
I'll be short because I know we're trying to wrap this up, if I may. Now, I wanted to answer a question that T. Bryant put on the post in regards to triggers. Now, all of us have triggers. All of us been through trauma. All of us been through a lot of stuff. But the fact of the matter is, when we can identify as a man what our triggers are, as a woman what our triggers are. And again, I made this point earlier. We're both broken people. We both come to a place where we can put ourselves together. But when we meet each other, there's pieces missing. So when we finally come together, we become one. But we end up having this power struggle because of the social, economic issues, all of the things that we're taught from some, not all churches, from social, TV, you name it. Fact of the matter is, if we cannot communicate effectively, men communicate very differently. We are more direct to the point. And if we're saying things repetitively over and over and over, and you're not hearing it, that's our way of communication. But to some, not all, some women think that's nagging, or that's being a punk, or whatever it is. I'm communicating with you. So you're saying I'm not communicating, but yet I'm repeating the same issue to you repetitively. So that's an issue. That should ring a bell to you. But not all women are like that. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is each men communicate differently. Some are repetitive. Some make it straight to the point. If you don't get it, scratch it. All I'm saying is this. If we both come to a place of healing, we'll hear each other. If we both come to a place that we understand that, okay, I'm broke, you broke, okay, we got that part. How can we fix each other? That's where we got to come. That's the only way this is going to work, because we're never going to be perfect. We can have forum after forum after conference after conference. We can lay hands, throw oil, do backflips, all this stuff, spending all this money, trying to be the next big thing. But the fact of the matter is, it all comes down to you, woman of God, man of God. We're never going to be completely perfect, but your next is your broken piece that you are missing to be whole. And I'm done.
Okay. Well, amen to that. That answered that question there. And thank you so much for that share. No, that was good. This has been really good on tonight. I hope that everyone is getting what they need out of this conversation. Again, this is the first, and we are going to continue to grow and build on it because I think that it is important. Again, y'all put in the chat, something happens when men speak. And I hope what happened tonight is that the lines of communication have been opened, or understanding have been opened, or starting to open, so that we can be more, we can embrace our men more and be more of a support as we need to be, and let our men know that you matter in every aspect, not just your wallets and not just in the bedroom, but you yourselves, what you think, what you feel, and what you need. It matters. And it matters to those who are with you, around you, and who love you. So I want to leave space for, I'm not even gonna bother with the questions at this point, because I think that we have, that's right, something happens when men speak. Y'all have lit it up on tonight again, per usual. I like all the smoke and the heat. I ain't mad. I ain't scared of the toxic stuff. Y'all, y'all my good folks. Listen, my daddy and mama ain't raised no punk. Say the spirit nor in the natural. So this is good. I so love and appreciate each and every one of you. You men are amazing. And thank you for sharing from your well and your wealth of knowledge on tonight. Thank you for allowing your voices to be heard. And I hope and pray that everything that has been said on tonight, y'all go back, watch the replay, share it with somebody, do a group watch, whatever you want to call it, but it's important that we hear from the men who live these lives every day and are in these spaces every day. And we're getting it in real time. And again, we're not here. We're not perfect. We're not experts, but we are just real people sharing real talk so that we can have real resolutions, so that we can communicate better with each other and love each other properly. So, Pastor Linwood, come on, give your final thoughts and comments and share your handles, how people can reach you, brother.
Thank you, Lady Dawn B, for extending this opportunity to me. My plate is full. And for me to do this, I have to believe that it adds value to somebody's life. And I do believe that the men's lounge and what you're doing adds value to people's lives, not just men, but to women as well. My handles, I can be found out on Facebook, Linwood Beal, on IG at Rev LR Beal, and you can find our church on all platforms, Believers International Detroit. Let me just share this in closing. Brothers, you guys have enlightened me in some ways on some topics that I had never thought about it that way before, or never, verbalized it that way before. So thank you all for your shares as well. I'll just go back to something I said earlier in my closing. If you're in a relationship and you want to glow, help him grow. And if he really loves you, he'll pour everything into you that's at his disposal to do. Again, if you cannot help him, do not hurt him. Stay out of the way and allow him to grow into the person that God has called him to be. If you're meant to be, you'll grow right along with him. Last thing I'll say, Lady Dawn, as is concerning relationship between man and woman and a man growing, again, you have to cultivate an environment. You have to cultivate an environment where growth can come to its full potential. Because if you put a fish in a bowl that should be in an aquarium, he'll never become what he's supposed to be. He'll be limited by his environment. I hope that blessed somebody, and I hope. I actually put a muzzle on the toxic tonight. I ain't go as far as I could. So,
listen, you right. But you was distracted. You was distracted a little bit. You was multitasking. So that's why I think the ministry, God set it up. The ministering that you had to do was suppressing your toxicity. But that's all right. Next time we're
it's
gonna
called tag team. It's called tag team. I knew where he was going, so I just tagged in. I tagged myself in. Yeah, that's what.
We already know, y'all men, y'all stick together. We in this we know, but it's all right. We're gonna pray the Lord release you for all your toxicity next time. That's all. Tell you, bring the smoke, because you was ready. He chose violence early, y'all. He's the one who started it. So next, I'm gonna go to my brother 204. And Linwood, I hope you had an amazing Valentine's Day, and that you were blessed and treated well. I know my sister took care of you, so
so she did, and we took care of each other. And
amen.
You know, we've been married almost 3 years now. And for those that don't know, we met on Clubhouse app. We met on the Clubhouse app. And we had a chance last night to go to the restaurant that we had our first dinner date.
Nice.
Yeah. So it wasn't a 5-star restaurant or anything. It was just somewhere we were both comfortable, where we, it just brought us back to a place that we needed to be. So I thank God for it.
That's beautiful. That is beautiful. And I love it. Come on, 204. Come on, share your final thoughts on tonight and tell them your handle. Minister Donald. Okay, Minister Donald is texting whatever he's doing.
Yeah, well, I was putting it in the chat.
So okay. No, I didn't know if you could hear me, so that's why I was saying.
It's all right, my sister. I heard you.
Go ahead, big brother.
My thought for tonight is, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a wonderful evening. Certainly, like Pastor Linwood said, I too have gleaned quite a lot from tonight's conversation. But hopefully, everyone that's on this chat, on this live feed, is gleaning something for themselves. Definitely, we want to encourage that this continues, that this dialogue continues on all these subjects. I definitely want to pray and hope that everybody got what they needed, or will get what they need. So yeah, apply what you learned tonight, and give us a testimony when we meet again.
Okay. Well, how can people reach you, brother? Because you put it in the group chat. It's not in the in the main comments.
Sorry. So I am actually restarting my ministry. It's His Own Image, and I thought I put the phone number there, but she said I put it in the group chat. So I can be reached at 346-669-3630. That's again 346-669-3630. I'm starting so His Own Image is a men's ministry. It's something that I felt strongly led in my heart by the Lord to bring back to life. More about it, I can tell you. It's still kind of in the building, in the making, revamping rather. But yeah, that's the phone number you can reach me at if you just want to share a thought, and etc.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much, Minister Donald. I hope that your Valentine's Day was amazing. I know my sister-in-law took care of you as well, and y'all loved on each other.
It was very well taken care of, as per the norm.
All right. Every day is a day of love. Absolutely amazing.
We don't wait for one day.
That's right.
We push it every day, no matter what the mood is. Who's in what kind of mood or day or so forth. Thanks for asking, though. I'll pass that along.
You're welcome. Amen. Got you. Got you. All right, cuz you up next. Come on, share your final thoughts and how you can be reached. What's your handles?
Say for final thoughts, seemed like tonight we talked about communication a lot. I know that, and I'll give it a twist a little bit. When men are loved right, we respond. We respond. So a lot
Yes,
of
sir.
times men are shut out, or men are shut down, I would say, because of how we're handled. So I'll say when men love right, we will respond. And I know just looking at some of the five love languages is words of affirmation. That's what women want. Quality time. I think it's what was built for ladies. Receiving gifts, acts of service, physical touch. So just the five love languages. And I would say, in addition to those love languages, I'll add on the men twist. Men want that respect, as the brother spoke tonight. Men want to show. Men want to be cared for. Men want that respect and that love, and they want to be heard. So I would say for the ladies, just give us some time, give us some patience, be patient with us, and give us some time as we are trying to figure out things and get through some things. Help us to heal and grow, and vice versa as we carry this thing out called love. Can be reached at on all the social media platforms, Purpose Place Church, Columbia here in South Carolina. Also, Angela Brooks Ministries are on all the platforms as well: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. So if somebody wants to tweet, so Angela Brooks Ministries, but also Purpose Place Church, Columbia here in South Carolina.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that and your final comments. And again, I know you shared you guys had dinner last night, and I hope it was even more amazing than you shared at the end of it all. It's good that you had that time with each other. And I know you're loving on each other and take care of each other right. So that is wonderful. And last but not least, the co-anchor of the Men's Lounge, the Psalmist Voice, aka Pastor Chris. Please do share your final comments and how you can be reached, what your handles are.
Well, I'm trying not to get nobody stirred up, but I'm gonna try to close. This is my fifth close. And all you pastors know, when we say it's our fifth close, it usually means our 10th. But I'm gonna close, and I'm gonna say this, and I wrote this down while we were talking. I'm not gonna pretend that each and every Black woman or Black man knows how to love each other, even though we inspired to do so. Now, I would be lying if I said the vast majority of Black women and Black men have come across this very issue, and it's a gravely serious issue. And how much will we do about it? We talk about it, we express it, we love it, we hate it, but are we doing something about it? Now, the whole purpose of what we do is the fact that we need to bring clarity to what's dividing us as Black men and Black women. How can we become what we're supposed to be in these times? We need to be the example, not the 6 o'clock news feed. We need to be the powerhouse and not always be looked at or subjugated to something negative. We've never had a powerful Black man or Black woman couple look so powerful, and not in the regards of being the next housewife or the next reality talk show, but being something that we can actually hold on to in the reality aspect of what we do tonight. Now, of course, our world rarely hears about the positive about what Black men do. That's the truth of the matter. And we want to experience the positive. Now, forums like this are rarely heard of, rarely seen. But I just pray that with all of our aggression or however you want to call it, that you leaned in tonight and you focused on what we were saying from the heart posture. We're not here to knock anybody. We're not here to make you feel some kind of way. You want to hear from a man's perspective. In order for us to change as men, in order for you to change as women, We have to be able to express ourselves in a way that we express as men. You have all the forums, you have all the conferences. We have forums like this that are rare, and we have to give flowers to Lady Dawn B in regards to something like this, because you don't see a lot of this. But when you do see forums like this, you're never going to see authenticity. We're not here to get your cash apps. We're not here to get your flowers. We're not here to make ourselves more popular. We're here to make a Black woman and a Black man finally hold their place in society. And if we don't have conversations like this, ladies and gentlemen, whether you're in the faith aspect, whether you're in the world aspect, we will continue to stay divided, and we will never be the powerful couple that we were created to be in Genesis chapter 1, verse 1. So that is my closing, but you can reach me almost everywhere. You can reach me on YouTube at the Psalmist Voice Radio Network. You can reach me on Facebook at Christopher Newton Sr. That's my government name. You can reach me at the Psalmist Voice Radio Network on Facebook as well. Also on YouTube. You can reach me on X now. They call it X, Twitter, former Twitter, the Psalmist C. You can reach me on Instagram, The Real Psalmist Voice Radio Network. You can also reach me on TPV Radio, also on Instagram. And I'm all over the place. So you can just type me in, the Psalmist Voice. We're everywhere. So wherever you want to find the Psalmist Voice, type it into your main, what do you call them things, engines or what have you. Type it in and we're everywhere. So pretty much I want to give a shout out to all the people that are watching on the platform as well. On my side, shout out to Minister Larry, Scott, God bless you. Also Patrick Holmes, God bless you. And all of you that have been watching. Also, God bless you to Miss Sheila for allowing me to have a space just to do this. And again, God bless you to the hostess of the mostest, Lady Dawn B, and also to these distinguished men here on the panel that we do what we do. And of course, we got a lot of stuff going on individually, but yeah, you're right. We need to come together a lot more often because this stuff needs to be heard. This is your boy, the Psalmist Voice, aka Pastor Christopher Newton, and I'm God. God bless you.
Well, thank you, Pastor Chris, aka Psalmist Voice. This is who he is. This is what he does. And I just want to give a great big thank you to these men who come and share. No one is on a payroll. They come and they share out of the goodness, kindness of their hearts. They do not mind lending their experience and their knowledge. You know, these are precious nuggets and gems that I pray we are picking up, keeping, and walking out in our daily lives. So I appreciate each of you because you could be in so many places, but you choose to spend your time here. So thank you. Thank you, Pastor Linwood, Mr. Donald, Pastor Angelo, Pastor Chris. I absolutely love y'all. I could not do what I do without you. And I appreciate the personal spaces that you each occupy in my life. Each of these men has a voice and a respect and an honor in a special place in my heart. If it did not feel that way about them, they would not be here. I appreciate their lives. I know that there is value, and what they have to share is a blessing to someone, anyone, everyone. So whoever you resonate with, I pray that you have gotten all the nuggets that you need on tonight. So again, thank you for being a part of the Men's Lounge for this great topic, when loved right, men grow. Okay, so let's take away from tonight that we need to respect, we need to create an environment for our men to grow. We need to first learn them. We need to accept them. We need to have patience. Grace is needed across the board. Let's see what else we got happening here. We need to make sure that we are creating intimacy that is outside of the bedroom. That is key. And that we are learning our men just as much as they are learning us. Add value. And Pastor Chris, I hope you had an amazing Valentine's Day as well. I hope each and every one of you have enjoyed this night. I want to invite you all back next week, next Thursday night at 7 p.m. We'll be right back here on Thursday night with Lady Dawn B, me, your girl. And we are continuing with this topic of when loved right. And next week, we're going to be talking about love, marriage, and ministry. And guess what? Bringing two power couples in that I know that I love, and I know that they have so much to share, which is my cousin Angelo and his great thing on his side. Maisha, she was here with us in the ladies' room. So they're going to come and be sharing, talking about love, marriage, and ministry. We're also going to be bringing in good dear friends of mine, Pastor and Lady Lindsay and Rhonda Jones. And we were hoping that our team Beal was be able to make it, but they have a prior engagement. But we're going to get them on and talk one of these days. Oh, no, you can be here. Oh, all right. Well, no, Team Bill is not going to be here. Right. Okay. Well, Team Bill ain't going to be here, but we're going to bring Team Bill back one of these days, and they're going to come and share about love, marriage, ministry, because I think it is so important while we are continuing this topic of when loved right, because it takes a lot of love to partner with each other in marriage and even more love to partner in ministry. Women, you think you want to be a first lady. Baby girl, I promise you, if you're not built for it, listen, continue to be just a regular member, because who you are coming home with is not the pastor, not the preacher in the pulpit, not the bishop. The man is who's coming home with you. So don't get Google-eyed over the anointing that is on him, because when you get home, you're going to need some anointment to deal with him. So I'm just saying, listen, help yourself to help yourself, ladies. I'm just saying. So we're going to talk about that, and we're going to talk about men, you know, what it takes for you. Listen, we keep it plain. We keep it real here. But the men also, you know, when you are pastoring and you are in ministry leadership positions, you know, not every pretty thing that walks by may look good on your arm, but she may not be great for your soul. So we want to talk about that journey of love, marriage, and ministry. So thank you, guys. And then on the 29th, we are ending this month of love with an open mic poetry night. So come on with your spoken word pieces, your poetic poems, and come and share. Let's talk about love. I'm going to be sharing some pieces from my book that's out, Soul Poetry Matters of the Heart, and some other pieces that I have recently written. We're going to talk about love. We're going to make it good. If you want to participate, hit me up. I'm your girl, Lady Dawn B. Thank you for allowing me to share with you on tonight. Thank you for your time. Listen, go with God, go in grace, be encouraged, and have an amazing night. Guys, hold on one second, and we are out. Good night, everybody.